Hey everyone, I'm Dana, and welcome back to Knowledge Mondays, your go-to weekly series for quick and actionable networking tips. I'm here with Clay Hicks, the founder and CEO of H7 Network. Clay, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Dana.
You're welcome. Our theme of the month of October is referrals. And my question for you, Clay, is what are some things people can do to make themselves more referable so they actually come to mind when opportunities come up?
Sure. Um, so, Dana, that can be somewhat complex. So I'm going to do my very best to communicate it as clear as possible. So, to become more referable, one must first look inwardly. Okay, right? Not outwardly, inwardly. So, inwardly, and when you look inwardly, you want to check off a few boxes to become more referable. Okay. Number one, I need to show up to networking events prepared better. Whether it's to a meeting, a social, a one to one, I need to show up prepared. Okay. And how I may do that is know exactly who I'm looking for my centers of influences and know who my target markets are and the decision maker of my target market. Okay. Whatever that may be. So if I don't know those three things, then what happens is when somebody were to ask you how they could help you, you won't be ready. They won't be able to help you because you're not sure what you're looking for either. And if you don't know, they definitely don't know. Okay. Number two is many people are faced with communication challenges. Okay. And so if you want to be more referable, not only do you need to show up prepared, but when you go to communicate what you're looking for to answer those questions, you need to make sure you're doing that very strategically. If you want to be top of mind or you want people to refer you more, make it easier on them. And so you make it easier by communicating your target markets in such a way that if that it makes it easier. So here's the way. When I meet somebody, barely know them, and they ask me how they can help. If I'm B2B and I target businesses as my target market, I'm going to ask for industry. That's a strategic way to ask that makes it easier on the other person. If I am a realtor and my target market happen to be consumer, so B2C, then I would communicate my request when somebody asks me and I don't know them very well yet, would be type of person. In this case, if you're a realtor, a type of person would qualify as um, a couple recently that just recently got married. So a married couple, so type of people, because they may want to buy a house, right? For obvious reasons. So third, last but certainly not least, to be referable, you also have to be like a relationship builder, like care about establishing some level of relationship. And so if you find that people rarely ever want to help you in your one-to-ones that you may be doing or when you're out there networking, as I said, you want to look inwardly. And so to finish that off, you would look inwardly. Am I actually building a relationship with them? Or am I pitch slapping them? Or do I not know what
Mm.
I'm doing? Okay, so I'm just don't know what I'm doing. And so connect, serve, and ask is a methodology that does exist. And it is a methodology that supports a
Mhm.
professional being able to develop trusted relationships. And so let's sum this up. Your question was, um, what would make someone more referable? One, they need to know or show up prepared with who they're looking to connect with. Number two, they have to be willing to ask in a very strategic way that makes it easier on someone else. That's a big deal. Most people do not do that. And three, am I building relationships or am I treating people like they're objects? There you go.
Th- Thank you so much, Clay. That was really insightful. And I really think it's important to, like how you said, by making it strategic and easier on them and making it clear exactly who you are looking for. So I think that's so important. I think that's such great insights.
Thank you.
So I have another question for you.
Mhm.
How do you recommend on following up with the person that referred you and also your new connection to build and strengthen those relationships?
Yeah. So I think what you're asking me is if somebody's made a referral to me, how do I,
Yes,
how should I respond? Right?
yes.
We should always, if it's an email introduction, we should in fact reply all, at least the first time, and thank that person for that introduction. At least the first time. Um, thanking people for taking time out of their day. I don't care if it took them 30 seconds or 10 minutes. Making sure you're showing that person how grateful you are for the introduction is extremely important. Okay. That's the first step. The second step is to do your best to then allow or to then inform the person that made the introduction to you if that was good or not, if that was a good introduction or not, and then making sure you're communicating that so that you can get more or less of that same introduction. Uh, Third is you want to inform the person who made the introduction to you how it went. That one is horrible for me, to be fair. That is a horrible, very difficult one for me to do.
Mm.
However, I do try my best. So that's where I come up short a lot. The other two I got down, but the last one is a little tough for me too. So I get it. I get it.
Well, thank you so much. That I agree. That's really important to thank someone for their time and especially yeah, letting them know if that was a good connection or a
Yeah,
bad referral. I think that's important, and I think that's not really talked about because we do want referrals, but at the end of the day, we don't want to waste our time and anybody else's time, and our connection should understand like they shouldn't take it personally if they say, "Oh, it's a bad referral." Like you're just letting them know, more about your criteria. So I think
that's
that
right.
benefits everyone.
Yeah, there's one more I left off, and forgive me. The last one is letting someone know if you did not make that connection happen, if that connection never happened. Just
Mm.
circling back and making sure that person, maybe the person told you they were going to make the introduction was made, and then you reply. In a couple days, if you haven't heard anything, you got to let the other person know that made the introduction. I forgot about that.
Mm.
It's very important that you do that to stay connected because you don't want to. I don't want to make an introduction to Dana and then Dana sits on it. She replies, don't say anything to me. I don't know what the heck's going on because reply alls aren't flying everywhere. So I don't know. And then, after a couple of days, I just think it's all good. I mean,
Mm.
well, why would I say anything otherwise? Or why would I think otherwise? So the person who's receiving should make sure that they let the other people know if they did not happen to, if they didn't connect.
I agree, and I think kind of a summary of your main points, like always, yeah, you can never over communicate, like letting everyone know. I think that is so important. So thank you so much for your insights, Clay. If folks want to learn more about you and your work, where could they find you?
Yes, I would connect with me on LinkedIn. I love doing one-to-one, so welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. Make sure you send me a message, like maybe you heard this podcast, this video, or what I was this communication. So just let me know, and then I can kind of prioritize making sure I'm scheduling one-to-ones with you and those who are interested in learning more. We'll do a connect, serve, and ask one-to-one. I'll show you how to kind of do that if you're willing to, if you're interested in doing that. So I'm also on Facebook as well. And so love to connect with everybody who's listening.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Knowledge Mondays. If you found this helpful, make sure to give us a follow, like, comment, and share with someone who could benefit from these tips. Thanks again. Bye, everyone.